Dalano Banton became the very first Canadian to be drafted by the Toronto Raptors as the team selected him with the 46th overall pick in the 2021 NBA Draft. The 6'9" Rexdale native played college ball for the Nebraska Cornhuskers and played just one season for the university as he had to redshirt 1 year after transferring from Western Kentucky. There is a lot to like about this kid as he brings tremendous upside to this franchise that could be a key contributor just a few years down the line. In this video, I will be going over exactly why the Toronto Raptors drafted him and explain exactly what the franchise got in Dalano as a prospect. Just before we get into this video, I just wanted to mention that if you do enjoy this type of Raptors content and analysis, please hit that like and subscribe button as the support will help this channel grow and become more consistent. I do know I am a newer channel on YouTube, but I appreciate any of the support that I get as it truly means a lot. Now, we all know that since Dalano Banton was a second-round draft pick, he is a prospect that does things exceptionally well, but also has attributes that need a ton of work. So obviously, Dalano is going to need to develop into the NBA before he gets any serious playing time, but first I'm going to be talking about the strengths that he brings on the court. Dalano Banton possesses a tremendous playmaking ability and a high basketball IQ that was put on full display during the 2021 NBA Summer League for the Toronto Raptors. We saw him make absolutely beautiful bullet passes and set up his teammates at the perfect time in some of his games. His dribbling ability is something that could be a wildcard for him and us to witness in the NBA, as he does possess the ability to get by his defenders with his quick first step and handles the ball well for a tall, lengthy guard. The only issue is he leaves the ball exposed often, which will be attacked by above average defenders in the NBA if he doesn't fix this. What Banton excels at the most with his playmaking ability is his ability to move the ball on the fast break. Whether he's the one grabbing the board, as he's a fairly decent rebounder because of his height and length, or the center dishing out the outlet pass to him, he immediately begins to push the ball up the court, increasing the pace of the game, which allows him to thread leading passes to his teammates for easy transition buckets. What makes him stand out from other prospects, and the reason he was drafted, is that he's a 6'9" guard that has a 6'10" wingspan. We are seeing Masai and the Raptors begin to have a trend in drafting long playmakers that have raw talent in order for the team to be relied upon to develop them. Like some people say, you can develop talent, but you can't develop height. It is very much uncertain if Dalano Banton is going to see the floor that much this season, even with the 2-year deal that he just signed with the team, but again, that is nowhere near expected of him in his rookie year because he was a second-round pick. Banton is another guy like Achua and Barnes that have no pressure to come into Toronto and be a difference maker immediately. He will be given the proper amount of time to truly get where he needs to be before he is given a consistent role. What Banton does best offensively is his ability to finish around the basket, as he shot 61.1% at the rim in his 1 year with Nebraska. Banton's length was able to give him the advantage around the basket, as he was able to shoot over his defenders with ease, and this is something that is going to be very intriguing for us to watch to see if this finishing ability transfers to the NBA level. Overall, Banton is not a very polished prospect, which is the reason why he was only drafted in the second round. However, he does have tremendous upside for the Raptors and is going to be a very exciting project over the years to see if he pans out. But personally, I and most Canadians will be rooting for him, as he was the very first Canadian to be drafted by the Raptors. I feel like not many people truly understand how cool that is, because we have the chance now to witness his growth from the start of his career, and if he does pan out to be a future star in the NBA, we could see him have a very, very long career with the Raptors. With the strengths out of the way, I'm going to be discussing the weaknesses that Dalano Banton possesses on the court. Starting with his weight, I think this is what most teams were concerned concerned about for Banton. Dalano is only 204 pounds and listed at 6'9", which obviously means he needs to put on muscle, as he will get bullied in the NBA if he doesn't. The good news is that he put on 20 pounds since high school, so with time in the NBA and with the right training and nutrition, hopefully we can see some results in order for him to bulk up in the NBA. Something that I wouldn't necessarily call a weakness but does need improvement is his defensive ability. Dalano Banton was an above average defender in college and did a decent job guarding guards on the perimeter. However, he's going to have trouble staying in front of shiftier guards in the NBA at first, since he does move a little slower laterally because of his size. He does make up for his lack of speed by having such a long wingspan, as he was able to recover and contest shots very quickly after he got beat by his man. With time, and as he grows into his body by putting on muscle in the NBA, he can definitely fix this down the road. Now, on to the biggest concern for Dalano Banton, and that is his shooting ability. Dalano was not an efficient shooter from both the three-point line or the free throw line, as he just shot 25% from 3 and 66% from the free throw line. This is obviously the attribute that can either make or break him as a prospect, but there are many things in his favor that will assist him into getting playing time before he can get a consistent jumper. He doesn't need to be a lethal shooter by any means because of his size and length. He just needs to get his shot to a point where it is not a weakness for him anymore, to allow him to play his game freely. Since he is a 6'9" guard, his size and playmaking ability will be the cornerstone to what keeps him on the court, as he could eventually create matchup nightmares once he develops more as a prospect. But with all of that being said about Dalano Banton, it is now getting closer to the end of the video. Dalano is a very interesting prospect, as he does have tremendous upside. However, he is going to be a massive project for the Raptors coaching staff to work with, as he is still very raw. I am, however, excited to see how he pans out as a player, especially because Toronto has an exceptional development team that is paired up with the Raptors 905. We have seen many raw prospects come through this organization that would end up becoming stars, or at least key rotational pieces, and examples of this would be Siakam and Van Vliet. Let me know what you guys think of Dalano Banton, and if the Toronto Raptors made the right decision drafting him with the 46th overall pick in the NBA draft. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit that like button and even subscribe if you enjoy the Raptors content that I've been putting out. Thank you all, and have a great night.